our event. Let us continue the session with the presentation from our Plenary 2 speaker for today. It is our delight that we have the Director of the Center for Development of Academic Excellence, CDAE, Universiti Sains Malaysia, Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Alias with us today. The session will be chaired by Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Hayati Abdullah, Director, Center for Advancement in Digital and Flexible Learning, UTM CDEX from Universiti Technology Malaysia. Without further ado, I will pass the session to Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Hayati Abdullah. Prof, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Mary and Nadwa. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to our plenary session for today. My name is Hayati and I have the pleasure of moderating this plenary session. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored to have with us a distinguished speaker and a Sifu in online teaching and learning, not just in Malaysia, but in the international arena. Our speaker this morning is the one and only Professor Karim from Universiti Sains Malaysia. Welcome. Thank you, Prof. Karim, for being here with us. It's such a pleasure to meet you in person. Yeah? Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, before I invite Prof. Karim to deliver his plenary, please allow me to share a little background on Prof. Karim, although he is definitely a man who needs no introduction. Right. Professor Abdul Karim Alias, or Dr. Abdul Karim Alias, is a professor of food technology at the School of Industrial Technology, Universiti Sains Malaysia, and he is currently the director of the Center for Development of Academic Excellence, CDAE, USM. Prof. Karim has been teaching at USM for over 28 years, yeah, since 1994, Prof. Right, and he was the recipient of the prestigious National Academy Award for Teaching from the Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia in 2008. He has been recognized as the top 50 educators in Asia Pacific in 2015 by Terrapin Asia, and he has been awarded with the Malaysia's Rising Star 2015 award for the highest research citation in agricultural sciences, food science and technology, Malaysia Research Star Award for 4 consecutive years, 2016 until 2019, and the world's most influential scientific minds by Clarivet Analytics. At the national level, Prof. Karim is a master trainer for ACAP and was involved as a writer for the Malaysia Higher Education Blueprint 2015-2025. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we often refer to the Malaysia Higher Education Blueprint whenever we are, preparing our strategic plans, etc. And now we are indeed privileged to have with us here a writer of the blueprint himself. And now, moving on to the online learning front, Professor Karim led the development of the Malaysia MOOC as a co-chairman of the National Technical Committee on MOOCs. Prof. Karim is a strong advocate of leveraging the internet as an alternative medium for learning and teaching. He has developed and maintained several teaching portals, websites, online courses, and blogs related to teaching and learning and research. As of August 20, 2021, his 402 teaching videos on YouTube channel have received over 1,000,000 views from over 190 countries. With an estimated hour watch of 69K and a total of over 6,500 subscribers. Another round of applause, please. Prof. Karim recently received the Higher Education E-Learning Maestro Award and the Best Trendsetter Award at IUCEL 2022. Congratulations, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel so honored today to have the pleasure of introducing such a distinguished scholar and an esteemed speaker who is, as I said earlier, the Sifu and the global champion in online teaching and learning. I remembered vividly how Prof. Karim was instrumental in helping and training academicians everywhere to teach online during the pandemic. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no more ado, please put your hands together and welcome Professor Dr. Karim to deliberate on the topic, Hyflex, just a buzzword or a real game changer? Prof. Karim, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Yati. Thank you, Dr. Yati, Dr. Hayati, my dear friend. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera dan selamat pagi to fellow educators from UTM and those watching online. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer, as usual. It's really an honor. It's really a great pleasure to be here again, to be invited as one of the speakers for this NALI conference. I think the last time, was it last year? I'm not very sure. Or was it 2 years ago? I remember the title was on lifelong learning, lifelong and life-wide learning, but it was online. I think it was like at the peak of the pandemic. I really enjoyed that session, and I remember Dr. Hayati also was the moderator and gave a very, thank you for the kind words. It's really, to me, when I listen to sometimes someone reading the biodata of great educators or someone very prominent and eminent, I always listen very carefully because I want to get inspired. So I hope my achievement is not, to me, that great compared to many other great people, but in the last 28 years, it has given me great meaning as an educator. So I hope all of you here will share that, and you will also be one of the inspiring educators that will inspire the younger generation to become one also. So this morning, the title given to me is Hyflex, and I actually purposely gave this title to kind of provoke our thought. I'm not going to talk about the operational part of Hyflex, and I'm not going to argue maybe how best to define hybrid, how best to define Hyflex. I'm sure there are many speakers already talk about the operational part. Yeah, but I want to cover more on what are the success factors. If we really move into or really want to adopt and adapt Hyflex as one of the, and make it mainstream in the future, are we ready for it? And what are the main challenges to really make it successful? So the success factors. The idea and the philosophy behind Hyflex is actually very good because it provides maximum flexibility. So Hyflex is all about flexibility to provide more accessibility, equity, and all those things that under SDG number 4, providing quality education and inclusiveness, addressing the issue of diversity, all those things under SDG 4. So If you ask me, the idea behind Hyflex is good, but whether it will become a mainstream in terms of one of the modes that we can use is a matter of time. Let's see, yeah? Okay, before I proceed, when I look at the screen just now, it just reminds me back to in 2008 or 2009. I received the Anugerah Academic Negara in 2008. And UTM was among the first university, or was it the first one invited the pemenang Anugerah Academic Negara to give the sharing session. And was it here? Yeah, maybe it was. That's why when I saw the screen, suddenly I remember that moment. The TNC at that time was Prof. Azrai, Datuk Azrai now, yeah? Yeah. Wow, so long, 2008. By the way, tomorrow is my last day in service, yeah? Tomorrow, before Bersara. Anyway, well, let's get on to this topic, shall we? Okay. Okay, these are the things, the talking point, yeah? The talking points for today. I like to always start with reflection, because reflection is actually such a powerful practice for all of us. Look back, then look forward. Learn from our whatever lessons that we have learned, then use that to move forward. I'm sure a lot of us have gone through failures, yeah? So when we look back and learn from those failures, and it will push us forward. So if you fail, according to John Maxwell, if you read his book, if you fail, let's fail forward, okay? Don't let the failure become your permanent setback, all right? So looking back, we want to learn about the evolution of teaching and learning delivery, especially how it comes now to so-called Hyflex. So let's kind of rewinding back and look at how things evolve over the years, especially on the technology, e-learning, and so on. Until now, we have Hyflex, okay? Then, looking back, then looking forward, moving forward. Now, the terms new norms, yeah? New norms. So I want to talk about how are we going to adopt and adapt to a so-called new culture of learning and teaching practices. Then after that, we dive into title today, talking about Hyflex. Maybe more on the bigger picture, and maybe more on how can we make it successful. So I'm going to talk about the issue of how Hyflex address the SDG 4, the inclusiveness, the diversity, and so on. So I can summarize Hyflex in 2 words. We want to make it more flexible. We want to make it more high touch and high learn. And what's next? What's next? So everything, when we introduce or when we do something new, always the question that we want to see is it sustainable or not? Or is it just kind of seasonal? Remember, 10 years ago we talked about MOOC. Until now, some people still pronounce MOOC as MOOC. Okay, so are we still very excited to talk about MOOC, or is it just a passing trend? Now Hyflex, everyone is talking about Hyflex. So is it just a passing trend, or is it real, or is it here to stay? This is something that we want to examine. Oh, okay, the lambat sikit. Now, before I move on, I just like to look at some buzzword. So the title just now is whether Hyflex, is it just a buzzword, or is it a game changer? So now I'd like to ask all of you here, there are so many acronyms flying around. Hyflex is one, it's the latest one. Can you all tell me what are the other buzzwords that, acronym that, especially in the context of education, online, e-learning, and so on, that you can recall? Other than Hyflex. Anyone? MOOC, just now I mentioned MOOC. Apa lagi? Blended, STEM, ya, lagi, come on. Flip, classroom lagi. Hybrid, hybrid, then we have the Hyflex kan. Lagi? Banyak lagi tau. Yeah. Well, the point is there's so many acronym and so many buzzwords. Sometimes we have to figure out, now Hyflex. What is a Hyflex? We have to Google, right? Okay. I want to play a kind of a little game here, just for fun. Okay. The acronym game. I invented this game last night. The acronym game. So let's play together. Okay. Okay. Single. The acronym is single. So can you make a sentence out of that for each letter? S, what is S? S, what is I? What is N? Give it a try. It's not easy, kan? Okay. So let's see the answer. Single. Have you come across this acronym, single? And what it stands for? Stress is now gone, life's easier. Being single, less stress. When you are not single, you get married, more stress. So stress is now gone, life's easier. That's what single stands for, okay? Quite funny, eh? Okay, now, this one, I think all the ladies should be able to come up with. This only 4 letters. Okay? Who can try? Who want to try this? Diet. Diet. Ladies mesti boleh jawab. Can answer this. Diet. Can you come up with nice words here? Did I eat that? Oh, I'm on diet. Then you finish 2 plates of rice. Did I just eat that? Did I eat that? Okay. So this is a little game. And now come the Hyflex. Okay. Well, it will be interesting to see. I don't have the full kind of nice sentence for each one. But I want this to be a challenge for you. Okay? So what I want you to do, you don't have to do it now, but hopefully by end of my session, we can get a few from you. And there's a hadiah. Okay? There's a hadiah for this. Okay? So put your answer on Padlet. I forgot to put the apa dipanggil tu? Yeah, you can scan QR code. So maybe you want to take the picture so that you can get the address. Because I have a present for this one. If you can come up with something nice, a book second hand lah, dah baca kan? You want to give away. Train your brain to get happy. So that's a present if you can get. Please vote also. You can like the answer from your friend. So those who get the most like will get this book. Train your brain to get happy. I'm sure everyone want to be happy, kan? So read this book. So that's the present for this challenge. Hyflex. What is H stand for? Y stand for, and all the letters. If hopefully you can come up with something funny, something interesting, yeah? Okay? Okay. Game over. Game over. Now, in 2012, I went to Las Vegas to attend Deaf Learn Conference. Deaf Learn Conference. It's always in Las Vegas every year. Mungkin Biha, one day you should go. Ya, dengan Dr. Azizul kan. Sorry, I call you Mazlan tadi. Every year in Las Vegas, they have this Deaf Learn DEV conference. I went there in 2012. It was like 4 days, yeah. And it was actually exhibition, presentation, and so on. All the technology companies there. So they invited John Landau, who is a producer of Titanic and Avatar, as a speaker, and he was talking about the technology that they have to invented to produce all this magical scene in Titanic and Avatar. At that time, the technology was not available. It has not, not existed. So they have to invent this new technology to do now what we call virtual reality and so on. So the movie became box office, as you know, Titanic, Avatar. Then after that, other movie makers adopted the technology, create those magical scenes in the movies, and became box office again. Some of the technologies, like the virtual reality and so on, were adopted in education, but unlike movies, it doesn't transform the education or create that so-called magical transformation in education. So he wonders. He was wondering, and he said this, yeah? He said, educators in the 21st century are at risk of becoming irrelevant. Oh, I was kind of, when he made that statement, oh, come on, is it true? Okay, so I remember noted down his remark, and it is on my slide now, okay? And this is what he said. Actually, he was talking about the world as a global classroom. So that's where the technology comes in. So, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow educators, when we look back, so this is a reflection part, we actually have come a long way in terms of how we adopt technology in our classroom. It's not new. So that's actually since at the end of the 19th centuries, where we start to use technology in the form of e-learning, we have the LMS and so on, okay? But then I think it's good time or high time for us to ask this question to us. All the technological wonders that we have in terms of virtual reality and so on in education, when we adopt and adapt in education, who actually invented it? Who actually started it? For example, MOOC. MOOC actually came about from the OCW, Open Courseware, from MIT. They started it. Then we follow. In 2014, we launched our Malaysian MOOC. Then after that, we don't know what happened now, the national MOOC. I'm not sure now whether it's still there. At one time in early 2014 when we launched, we were so proud because it's one of its kind. We are so proud about MOOC. I remember delegates from Germany and so on, they came to KPT, so I have to go there to explain about national MOOC, and so very proud. One full delegate from German universities came to learn about our national MOOC. But what happened now? So I know UTM is still doing MOOC. USM, I think perhaps, we won that award. Yeah, we are doing more now. Every year we have MOOC challenge, so we are still doing MOOC. So we try to sustain it. But now we have hybrid because of the pandemic. Now we are forced to go to the hybrid mode, and now we have Hyflex. Okay, so we have come a long way, but we did not really be the trailblazer, the trendsetter. Hyflex. Who came up with the Hyflex terms? It was Betty, Betty, I forgot the name, the full name. But it actually started back in San Francisco University in 2006. It's not new, actually. Hyflex, the term Hyflex was basically started off way back in 2006, even before, well before the pandemic. Now only we know, oh, Hyflex, as if it is new thing. So where are we? Where are we in terms of leading in education, introducing new concept, new model, new theory, adult learning principle, Knowles adult learning principles, not Karim's adult learning principle. Well, I'm not for education anyway, so I'm from food technology background, so we are hoping people from education that come up with something like this, yeah? So we are not a trailblazer. So we have come a long way. We are so used to face-to-face, but if you are honest and think about it, even face-to-face classroom, we have not changed very much the way we do things in the classroom, face-to-face. And then come the technology, so we start to have blended learning. So we have some parts of our course on the LMS, and students are encouraged, or even lecturers are encouraged to have some of the activities in the LMS. So we have blended learning, okay? We have blended learning. Then come the pandemic. Come the pandemic, everyone is forced to go online, fully online. So remember the early days of the pandemic in March 2020 become kind of very havoc. Everyone is trying to adapt to the new environment, but we try to bring the same old practice in face-to-face and try to replicate it in online. But it doesn't work that way. So we have to adapt and change the way we do things online. Then we have flipped classroom. I think many years ago, a few years ago, and I was also among the first to talk about flipped classroom in Malaysia, especially. So I was invited all over to talk about flipped classroom, conduct the workshop, and so on. And I think now everyone is probably know about and probably do some form of flipped classroom. But now we don't really talk about flipped classroom so much. So it's like passing trend again. But who started the flipped classroom? Not the names from Malaysia, but we have those from US again. They blazed the trail, and we follow. Then we have now hybrid. Post-pandemic, we have hybrid where now we allow more flexibility where some students can be present on site or face-to-face, some can attend online. And now when we have that, two kind of modes, and we now allow more flexibility, we give option and the freedom for the students to choose whichever mode that they want, whether they want face-to-face today, tomorrow they want to go online, next week they want to go face-to-face, anytime they can switch, we give them the total freedom to decide. Then it becomes hybrid plus more flexibility or extra flexibility, it becomes Hyflex. So we coined the term hybrid plus flexible and become hybrid. And for the online part of the Hyflex or the hybrid, we can also have synchronous and asynchronous. Many years ago, if you say asynchronous or synchronous, many of probably among academics or lecturers, what is that? Synchronous sounds very strange. Asynchronous, what is that? But now everyone knows, synchronous, asynchronous, now we can have that conversation, right? Time has changed now. So, these are all the different so-called instructional modalities. We have now more option for the lecturers, more option for the students. Now we have almost like a total flexibility. And not only that, with Hyflex, it basically provides I would say, the mechanism or the platform for us to now really realize the SDG 4, which basically SDG 4 is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The keywords there are inclusive, equity. Because SDG 4 is actually addressing the issue of diversity as well. To ensure that education for all, UNESCO started this education for all, I don't remember exactly, but many, many years ago, before it became, it was included in the Millennium Goal, then it became SDG, right? SDG number 4, we have 17 SDGs. But until now, it's very hard to really deliver and materialize what we want to achieve in SDG 4 in terms of the equity, in terms of the flexibility, in terms of the accessibility, in terms of the affordability. Education for all, it means that no one will be left behind. People of, in terms of the demographic, in terms of the ethnicity, in terms of the socio-economic background, in terms of whether they are fully able to learn or people with learning disabilities as well, with impaired vision, impaired hearing, and so on. So everyone will have access to education equally. So we are talking about equity there. And now with Hyflex, if you really understand the concept and the philosophy behind Hyflex, we can really deliver SDG 4 to the fullest. And we have the opportunity now. Whether we are willing and ready, the readiness, we want the readiness of implementing Hyflex effectively in our institution. So actually it comes back to people again, okay? Come back to people. So I think this is a good time for us to really understand SDG 4 because Hyflex is very much related to SDG 4. And, this, we have the terms like equality, diversity, equity. So this picture is a very nice one, how to explain what's the meaning of equality in a very nice one. Equality is everyone getting a pair of shoes. So everyone has a pair of shoes. Okay? Diversity is everyone getting a different type of shoe. Okay? Some get black, some get different colors, some get different style, and so on. But everyone has a shoes, but everyone get a different one. Okay? Equity is everyone getting a pair of shoes that just fit nicely. Not so big, not so loose, not so tight. Just fit nicely. Okay? That's equity. Acceptance is understanding we all wear different kinds of shoes. About diversity here. We understand about diversity. Okay? So belonging is wearing the shoes that you want without fear of judgment. So the reason why I'm mentioning this because I just want to take this opportunity. When we look at Hyflex, always look at the bigger picture, not just the Hyflex in terms of the operational and in terms of as a mechanism of how we conduct our class. Always look at the bigger picture of how this come about and how it relates to the bigger context. Yeah. Okay. When we look back again how this thing evolved in terms of the technology that is now part of the Hyflex. I mentioned just now we started way back from OCW, then we have UNESCO, Open Educational Resources, OER, then we have MOOC, and now we have Hyflex. But it's good that I think Malaysian higher education is quite proactive and ahead of many countries in terms of getting the Malaysia education blueprint. I think Malaysia is always good with that, coming up with a good blueprint, very comprehensive. And that is a shift number 9. I'm very proud to say that I was part of it as the writer of the shift number 9, which is globalized online learning. And we have also e-learning policy. I think Dr. Biha also involved in the e-learning policy. And we have this coffee table book to describe how our MOOC evolved, our Malaysian National MOOC. You can get this book online, free, as a PDF if you want to see, if you want to learn and understand how Malaysia MOOC was initiated. I started off with 4 MOOCs at that time, okay? And came pandemic. Although at that time MOOC was slowing down, but came pandemic, only now we realize, oh, MOOC actually play a big role now because it provides access to education to millions of people around the world. So as millions suddenly found themselves with free time on their hands during pandemic, they tuned to the online courses. Okay? So MOOC suddenly get a revival. They're almost dying of natural death. The attrition rate is very high. There's always an issue with attrition rate. People who do not complete the course, okay, they make it as a big issue. I'm not so worried if my course, a lot of people join or not. Those who join MOOC and completed the MOOC are those highly motivated people who really want to learn. I'm not sure whether many of you have followed any MOOC or any online course. I have enrolled in, I don't know, so many MOOC, but I have only completed maybe only a few. Yeah, and the one that I completed is the one that I really interested in because I want to learn and get the skill. I think I completed a 4 online course on stock trading because I wanted to learn about stock trading. And true enough, after I followed the 4 courses, I opened a trading account and I managed to do stock trading successfully, only 3 times, all with profit. Okay, just to prove a point. So don't worry about the attrition rate because only those who are really interested to learn, they will benefit from our course. Okay. So all the learners that ever registered in MOOC platform, 1/3 did so in 2020, making 2020 MOOC's most consequential year since 2012, which has been dubbed Year of the MOOC. Okay. Now, why Hyflex now? I think everyone probably would agree with me. We have gone through a bittersweet experience during the pandemic. Pandemic was really a wake-up call for many of us. It's an awakening, a wake-up call. It's a tipping point, I call it. Change people's life in many ways. And not only people's life. Change education, change economy. So, if we really want to learn lessons from pandemic and we look forward, I'm sure we can use that lesson to change a lot of our habits, a lot of our practices. In the context of teaching and learning and education, we can now look forward to new ways of teaching, rethink the way we teach, and the students rethink the way they learn. Okay? So as I mentioned just now, pandemic is a wake-up call, it's an awakening, it is a tipping point. If you have read a book by Malcolm Gladwell, Tipping Point means what? It's not just a turning point. If the turning point, you turn. But tipping point means if you are moving in this curve, on this curve, you are jumping into the next curve. So if you talk about transformation, you need that tipping point, the point where you jump up to a higher curve. That's where you can really transform, whether yourself as an individual or the system, education, and so on. Read the book by Malcolm Gladwell, Tipping Point. You will learn a lot of lessons there. Some of the observation during pandemic, I just want to make it short here. But the most important thing during pandemic, we realized that when everyone has to go online, we are not ready. People are not ready. Not everyone has access to online. Not everyone has connectivity. Even those people who have connectivity, the connection is very poor. And yet, we want to deliver, we want to do teaching and learning, and we want to make sure everyone learn. Everyone have access to the course material, everyone will learn, and no one is left behind. But the reality is, some places, remote places like in Sabah, Sarawak, even in Semenanjung, students don't have access, whether it's the issue of connection, or if there is connection, the connection is not that fast enough, or they don't have the device, they don't have the laptop, they don't have the, there are so many issues about the technology. So we realize there's a lot of digital divide. We have been talking about digital divide even many years before pandemic, and yet we are not ready when the pandemic came. Very sad, yeah, very, very sad. But then, after post-pandemic, after pandemic, although we are still, the COVID is still around, but we are now in the endemic, so-called, we declare we are in the we start to look at what can we do now if there is another pandemic? Are we ready for it? How do we now be ready, so-called future ready? Or how do we now make the future foolproof? So meaning that come what may, come another pandemic or whatever that would force us to go back online, how do we manage it this time? Okay. So there are some universities like Cambridge, they have done some work and research and so on. So they want to try to envision or to paint a scenario where if there is another episode of pandemic, what kind of university that would survive, and not only survive, they will continue to flourish. Even we have to go back to online again. So now they are looking at different scenarios now, the so-called post-pandemic university. And this is where, during pandemic, we have the hybrid. Now we have the Hyflex. Is this the answer? Is this the answer of the so-called post-pandemic university that will provide us a so-called future-ready, future-proof the system, future-proof the student, future-proof the academics, so that come what may in the future, we are ready. You know, we are ready. Bring it on. We are ready. Okay? That's interesting. And I think we ought to ask this question to us, to ourselves. Can learning be made more flexible? What if? So the what if question is a very good question for scientists, for researchers. Yeah? Always ask this question in your mind. What if? So what if learning can be made flexible in terms of time, in terms of place, in terms of accessibility? What if? Can learning be made more inclusive? That's the SDG 4. Again, physical ability. Regardless of your physical state, you can still learn, you can still have access to learning, you can learn equally with other students. There is no discrimination, there is no kind of a double standard, whether what kind of socio-economic background, gender, and so on. There is no differentiation and discrimination. Everyone is equal in terms of education. What if? Can we rethink the way we recognize learning in the digital era, in the new normal? This is where the micro-credential or digital badge is, but I'm not going to talk about micro-credential. So our government, again, they are very good. Always ahead, yeah, in terms of, so we have this framework, so-called flexible education framework for Malaysian higher education. I already forgotten about this document already. It's there somewhere on the bookshelf, but do we care to look at this document again? Yes, everything has been discussed, but And we come up with this, wow, complicated diagram. I think we love this diagram. I mean, we have in our document, kan, kita always come up with a nice infographic and so on, until you cannot read. It's so small, the letters, yeah? But actually one part here is technology, yeah? If you can read from there. And in there, it has already mentioned under technology, in terms of delivery, in terms of learning, quality assurance, and so on. It's already there, it's already been taught in our document. We have coined this term during YB Dato Sri Idris as a minister. I think Bihar, Dr. Yati remember. We talked about flexible education at that time. That was a time when we start to talk about flexible education. We talk about fluid curriculum. Tapi at that time, when we talk about fluid curriculum, kalau kita go deeper and ask a question, how do we do this? Nobody has the answer. Nobody has the answer. Until now, when we have micro-credential, I think that's the answer for fluid curriculum and flexible education. Our education has been flexible to some extent. ODL, open distance learning, actually provide some flexibility, but not good enough. Not good enough. We want to make it even more flexible. So we want to stretch that boundary. We want to make it even more flexible. The answer now is, one is on micro-credential, in terms of how do we structure and so on. And the other one, we have the Hyflex. I like the idea of Hyflex actually, because it can really provide options. So many options to the students, to the learners. They can choose now. Hyflex is about providing options and choices for the students. Freedom for them. If you want to go face-to-face, come. If you want to go online for whatever reasons, go there. If you want to do synchronous, this is a time where we can have synchronous session. If you want to do asynchronous, you just go to the LMS or the platform. Everything is there prepared for you. At your own time, at your own pace. You take charge of your own learning. So Hyflex, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to look at from different angles, is about, one is providing flexibility, accessibility, equity, addressing the diversity, and give the empowerment, the real empowerment to the student. What is empowerment? Giving the power, transfer the power. So give the full empowerment for the students. They take charge of their own learning. They take the ownership of their own learning. They take the full responsibility of their own learning. Is that what they want? We give them. But we shall see that it's not that straightforward and easy to do, because on the teacher's part, it actually adds more complexity and complication. The readiness, the skill, the mindset, that's those issues that become challenges for us. So, like it or not, we have to move forward, because the world now is fully wired, almost fully wired, hyper-connected. We have all the technology at our disposal. We should not waste this opportunity now, leveraging on the power of technology, because this is a moment, according to LinkedIn CEO, this is a moment in history when people can learn anytime, anywhere, and with no boundaries. Okay? So, Hyflex is about making learning very flexible. The need for increased access to high quality, equitable access to learning at all levels of education has never been greater. And this is where we have the hybrid. Okay? We can do in-person, on-site, face-to-face. We can also give the opportunity for students who cannot come to the place, to the physical site. They can be online, provided they have all the accessibility, facilities, the device, the good connectivity. And we give them the option. So we have hybrid. But now, adding another layer to it, can we now allow them to choose as they wish? Oh, today I want to be face-to-face. Tomorrow I want to be online. Next week I want to be face-to-face again. Okay? Or I can also go to the platform, I can do it asynchronously as well. Or I can choose to attend a synchronous online session. Or tomorrow I feel like to meet my friend, I want to go face-to-face. We give them total freedom. Good for the students, right? They have the total freedom. But that adds more complexity for the lecturers. I can see already. Okay? Okay. Now, so basically Hyflex, don't complicate the thing, it's so simple. It's a hybrid plus maximum flexibility, extra flexibility. A Hyflex program consists of hybrid classes, blending online and on-site participation modes that provide a more flexible learning experience to students. So we have the students on-site or physical, face-to-face, and the teachers maybe in the classroom. Then they are connected to the online. The students can attend this synchronously, or they can also choose to also do it asynchronously as well. Whereas the student that present or attend the face-to-face, they also have option and access to the platform, and they can follow the content and watch the video, for example, the recorded video in the class, make it accessible on the platform. Then they can also have access to the online. So it becomes very, very fluid and very dynamic, and providing a lot of options for the students. So basically, I'm sure you have seen this one article by Betty is describing how this Hyflex class can be done, and the various configuration and possibilities and options available for the students. It's so simple. Yeah, it's so simple. We have a class on site. Some students choose to come to physical class. Some will choose to go online. But then they can also choose to attend any session, any day, any week, switching from online to face-to-face and vice versa. So if you look at the principles of Hyflex learning design, then this come from the so-called the person, just now his name is Betty, who introduced this Hyflex concept back in 2006, yeah, in San Francisco's University. So there are four basically pillars or principles, or the key principle of Hyflex. The first one is learner choice. So we give total freedom for the students to choose. They have the freedom to choose the mode of engagement that works best for them. The second one is equivalence. What does it mean by equivalence? Okay, the mode face-to-face, synchronous, online synchronous, and asynchronous provide equivalent learning outcome. This is very important, the equivalency. Meaning that if a student chooses to attend the online only for the whole semester, and students who attend the face-to-face for the full semester, but the learning outcome will be the same. The learning outcome will be the same. They will receive the same content. They will get the same kind of assessment, assignment. Everything are the same. The only thing maybe we cannot really have the same or give the equivalent is the learning experience. We cannot really have the same learning experience face to face like now with those people who are following now this session online. Well, if it's just a matter of listening, like what we are doing now, maybe it doesn't make much difference. But in a normal classroom, it's not this very much teacher-centered, of course. There will be a lot of interaction, group activity, hands-on, and so on. That experience cannot be replicated exactly online, no matter what you do. To some extent, you can maybe come close, but not really match the experience. Experience is one thing that we cannot have the same. Yeah? Reusability, meaning that we can reuse the learning object. Contoh, Example, now this session is recorded. Okay? So now become a video. So now we can put this after this on the LMS, and then if, the student, whether those who attended face-to-face or those who are online, they can now watch the recorded video asynchronously, so they can do revision and so on. So that's the reusability, which is very good. It actually it provide a lot of option again in terms of learning material for the student. So that reusability is one of the, to me, big advantages of Hyflex, and accessibility. Okay, I think now in the future, moving forward, probably from now and next year, we will see more another buzzword become more popular, although it has been around for some time, which is the UBD. UBD, dengan UBD tadi dah, apa dah UBD kan? UBD, Dr. Yati tahu kan, Dr. UBD kan, Dr. Biha of course lah. Universal apa? Design Principles, UDB, ya betul lah. Universal Design Principles. You can Google, you can find tons of reading material there, but it has not yet kind of apa orang kata become a buzzword or a trend yet. But I think more and more now, when we go Hyflex, hybrid, UBD would be almost wajib or compulsory for us to learn. It's a good design principle because it will accommodate all types of learners, including those with learning disabilities. That, again, remember, inclusiveness in SDG. Okay? So, I'm not going to talk about how do we do it in terms of the physical infrastructure, the setup of the classroom, what kind of facilities that we need, and so on, that the technology can address that. And if we have the money, we can do it very easily. Yeah, we can get all the facilities, the devices, the equipment, the technology, everything, even a very sophisticated one also. So now we assume we have this infrastructure. What's more important to me is actually if we want to have success in implementation of Hyflex, it boils down to people, as in other things as well. When we wanted to do MOOC, it's not easy to convince people. So then we have blended learning also. USM was among public universities yang very slow in meeting the KPI lah for blended learning. We don't care because we don't want it we don't want to do it just to meet the so-called, for the reporting purposes. We want to report 80%, 90% blended learning based on the criteria kan. So we said in USM we always do things if we believe in it, and we don't want to force people just to get the numbers. But now we are okay. But in terms of the appreciation, penghayatan is there, I think lah, more on blended learning. So the people is very important. So student and teacher, these are the two people who are very important to make Hyflex very successful. I always say in any teaching and learning situation, whatever model, whatever new innovation that we want to introduce, it will always take two parties, the students and the teachers. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. If you dance alone, you don't call it a tango. It's a solo dance. Yeah, tango always take two. So for any model, any innovation of teaching and learning to be successful, even a simple one, you need a full involvement, commitment by both teachers and students. If we as teachers are very excited to do something, very enthusiastic, and yet the students don't understand why you are doing it, they don't participate, then it will fail. It will fail, okay? So teacher in terms of skill and competency, This is very important. If you want to do Hyflex, teachers must have the right skill set. Before the skill set, they must have the right mindset. The right mindset meaning that, okay, I want to do Hyflex because I understand this will provide this and that. The mindset must be right, and then only they are ready to learn the skill, how to do this Hyflex successfully. That's where the skill set comes in. Then we need a tool set as well. Yeah. So then, of course, we need the proper technology to support. The learning material that we prepare must be accessible to everyone, whether they are online, whether they do it synchronous or asynchronous, or whether they do it face-to-face. Everyone will have the same access to the quality learning material. And institutional support, because there probably would be the what we call this financial implication, because they have to prepare the space, they have to buy the equipment and so on. Are they willing to put the investment there to make Hyflex successful? Then, of course, the policy. There must be policy to guide. So finally, I want to share here is about the challenges. It's already time, yeah? Almost. Challenges for effective Hyflex. Not just doing Hyflex for the sake of doing. Usually people want to do things because they want to follow the crowd. Micro-credential, yeah? Now everyone is doing micro-credential. If we don't do it, then we will not, look odd because everyone is doing. So let's do it. So everyone is doing and talking about Hyflex. Let's do it. If that is the reason, that you are doing it for the wrong reason. There must be a strategic intent for everything that we do. How it will give benefit to us, to our institution, to our students in terms of their learning experience and so on. But remember, there are two people who are very important to make Hyflex very successful. One is our student. This is very, very important because some of them will be online. Online is always have the issue. How do we know they learn? How do we know they are there? How do we know they are in front of their computer and so on? We keep asking those questions, right? So if we can get or develop our students to be a responsible, independent learners, then we don't have to worry. They will be there because they want to learn. They will be there because they know if they are not listening or they are not following you, they will miss a lot of things. You have to design, as a teacher, you have to design in such a way that you want them to be there. They want to be there. That's very important, but of course it's very challenging, very difficult to do it. It's easier said than done. So what we want, hopefully, and this is another thing that I think moving forward, we need to look at more on this. And I'm glad to see, happy to see many and more people talk about self-directed learning, self-directed learners now. That's good. How do we make them independent learners? How do we make them self-regulated learners? Self-regulated learners, this is the ultimate that we want to achieve. We want them to be highly self-motivated. What does it mean? If they are highly self-motivated, as I said just now, they want to be there because they want to learn. You give them one thing to do, they will deliver 10. You want them to submit tomorrow, they will submit yesterday. Yes, that's to really put it in this very simplest way. Self-regulated learners, I think most of us here, all of us here are self-regulated, because otherwise we wouldn't be here. We were good students. Good students in the sense that we really want to learn. So sometimes we get teachers who we say, teruk lah, poor teachers. They don't teach well, but we still perform because we are highly motivated students. That part of the ciri-ciri, the characteristic of high self-regulated learners. If we have this in our Hyflex, then we wouldn't have many issues. So there's another thing that I like to, these days I like to look at this more, the so-called metacognitive. Metacognitive actually is about the simple definitions, thinking about your own thinking. You always think about, whatever you do, you always think about it. Why am I doing it? Okay, so while you are in the class, you are thinking about what does it mean? Does it make sense or not? After the class, you always think about, okay, what have I learned just now? Okay, is there anything that I still don't understand? So always thinking about your own understanding, your own learning, and so on. So these are metacognitive. So if we get our learners to adopt metacognitive learning strategies, and we as lecturers or teachers learn the so-called metacognitive teaching strategies. There are a few books on this one, or a lot of articles also on the website. So please find time to read about it. And on the teacher part, if we want to make Hyflex very successful, we want everyone to be really have the highest level of professionalism. Okay, there's a lot more. You can talk about professionalism. I can give one separate talk on professionalism and being a professional educator. A very interesting topic and very important one also. And I believe personally, I mentioned this many times in my other presentation, if all teachers, educators have the highest level of professionalism, we wouldn't have many issues in education. Yeah? So I mentioned about the mindset, tool set, the practice, and now because part of the Hyflex is actually online, we have to address the issue of online learners. So when we design our course, we must design, at least one of the requirements for successful Hyflex, we must design our content, our delivery, our assignment, our activities to cater for all. Student face-to-face, student for online. And therefore, those who are doing the Hyflex, the teachers or the educators, they must have the necessary competencies as digital educators. All those things that I put there on the slide. They know how to do the online assessment. They know how to, they know about the community of inquiry model, how to do it, how to put it in their course design, everything. Yeah. And of course, there's instructional competency. So I think the time is already, ini kan, already time kan, 12 kan. So I think I'll just run through very quickly. I'll give the slide for you to download afterwards anyway. One of the requirements I think we want to look at when we do Hyflex is we cannot do things as business as usual. So we have to rethink our instructional strategy, change the way we do things, because now it becomes more complicated actually for teachers, for lecturers. They have to design for students who attend face-to-face, students who attend online synchronous, students who do online asynchronously. So there's more work, initially especially. Okay, so they have to rethink their instructional strategy. They have to be more meticulous in their planning. So they have to do advanced planning, okay, using the LMS, and they should communicate their expectation very clearly so that whether the student attend face-to-face, whether they attend online, they must communicate their expectation clearly. That is part also of the planning, so that otherwise everything will go haywire, kelam kabut. And communication is very important. The lecturers must always communicate with the students constantly using whatever platform available. Now we have WhatsApp, we have Telegram, so we have to use this media wisely. And very important, especially for students, not only for students online, even students who attend face-to-face, they can use the online community. Yeah. So create a supportive online course community. We have to understand about community of inquiry model, pay attention to learner engagement, and finally, back to the first slide just now. We have to answer this question because I have not answered this question. Hyflex, just a buzzword or a real game changer? What do you think? A buzzword? Meaning that, okay, now for the next maybe 1 or 2 years, people will talk about Hyflex. Then it will just disappear slowly. slowly disappear to the oblivion. Or is it really a game changer? What's game changer? Let's say we take sport like basketball or football. So there's one more minute to go. The score is 3-1. Football, 3-1. Then this substitute player is brought in. Within 1 minute, he scored 3 goals. And the other team who was trailing just now, menang. That's a game changer. In football, in basketball especially, we always witness this kind of. That's basically, if you want to understand game changer in the simplest way. In education, when we introduce something new, a concept, a model, for example, like Hyflex, it really changed education in a big way. The way we do things, the practice and so on, and students really enjoy and learn and so on. So, do you think Hyflex basically is a modality providing more option to the student, freedom to the student to choose, can really be a game changer? Well, I don't have a definite answer for this, yes or no. But I think, I don't want to say I believe, because at this point there are a lot of uncertainties. If it is more certain, I like to say I believe. But maybe at this point I'll say I think. If we Hyflex on its own may not be the game changer on its own. But if we combine, let's say with micro-credential, let's say with other creative kind of models in the future, that could be a real game changer. Time will tell. Time will tell. As of now, we do not know. Let's hope that it's not going to be another buzzword like MOOC. But because of, to me, it's a very good model, we need to address all the challenges. We need to address all the real issues behind it. And then only probably can be a potential game changer. Okay? So the key takeaways, so that we can unlock, okay, the key takeaways. First one, Hyflex approach support SDG 4 by addressing diversity while providing flexibility, accessibility, affordability, and equity. That's why I like the idea of Hyflex. If we really want to support SDG 4, ability of students and teachers to adapt to Hyflex structure is a critical success factor. At the end of the day, it comes back to human factors. Not so much about can we buy all these nice instruments, the big screen, blah, 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 blah. That one actually easily can be addressed with funding. Yeah? But if you have now millions for you to set up your Hyflex infrastructure, you're ready now, but okay, the people are not ready. It goes back always to human factors. And Hyflex is a potential game changer for education if combined with modular programs such as micro-credential. I cannot help it to mention micro-credential because it's kind of something that I really advocate and champion micro-credential. And finally, thank you so much for your time, for listening to my rambling. Okay, and I hope you have learned a few things here. I thought I put the link to download the slide on the slide here, but never mind. I will share the link with the secretariat. If somehow the secretariat can share the link with the participants yang watching online also to download all the slides if you wish to have the slides. Yeah. So with that, once again, thank you so much to UTM for having me in this prestigious NALI conference. Hopefully, I will have the opportunity again, whether in NALI or in other forums or programs, to share some of my thoughts on higher education. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof. Karim, for such a splendid sharing. And as always, you never fail to fascinate your audience. always taking his audience on a thought-provoking journey. Thank you, Prof. Karim. Now, since Prof. Karim presented a question to us here, now I would like to give the opportunity to the audience to present questions to Prof. Karim. So perhaps we can start from the floor. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question? Yes, please. Can you just state your name and where you're from?
Assalamualaikum, I'm Mazila from Faculty of Management. Okay, thank you, Prof, for exciting sharing. My question is, as we become more aware of the Hyflex learning mode, we are beginning to consider the student level of satisfaction, as well as the ways to mitigate its impact on their academic performance. What is your opinion on this, Prof?
Okay, thank you. Good questions. Because satisfaction, you say about satisfaction, student satisfaction in terms of course, learning. I usually use the term students' learning experience, which include also their satisfaction. This is not a new issue. Where whatever modality that we use, even a normal face-to-face. For a long time, we are doing face-to-face, and yet we always talk about the issue of student engagement is still there. We still do not, or struggling or grappling with the challenge to engage the student, especially those teaching big classes, like Dr. Hayati mentioned to me just now. How do we do all this Hyflex and so on with a big class? Okay. In fact, actually, we shouldn't have a big class in the first place. Okay, to me, 50 is the right size. If we have more than that, then it's become unmanageable. Management class, especially, more than 100, 200, a few hundred, because especially management 101 kind of courses, right? So, of course, even in the face-to-face modality, we face the issue of student satisfaction because it is related actually to the student engagement. How do we engage them? The satisfaction, the learning satisfaction and learning experience are multifaceted, multi-factors. One of them is student engagement. How do we engage them? How do we engage them? It depends on how we design our lesson. For every lesson that we have with them, whether face-to-face, whether hybrid, or now with Hyflex, which become even more challenging. Can you imagine now, I'm just talking to this group, and I kind of forget about those who are watching online, because I don't see them. It's hard to interact with them. There's so many of them, okay? And in fact, today I talk about Hyflex. Usually I talk about topics which I have experienced and do it at least in my class. But today I talk about Hyflex and I have yet to do Hyflex. Tak sempat. Dah pencin dah. Okay? So there will be more challenges. If you want to talk about student satisfaction, there are many things. I think one of the biggest things is actually designing our lesson to really engage the student. In fact, if you read about literatures on Hyflex, one of the challenges is designing that part of student engagement, because you are dealing with face-to-face like here. So when you are doing any activity, whether you want to engage them only or you want to engage those online, when you are doing like a group work, even more challenging. You know, like today we expect this group can do group activity, but it turned out that today the person supposed to come face-to-face, but decide to do online. That's why the planning part is very critical in Hyflex. If you read, on Hyflex, planning is always emphasized. If you don't plan well in advance, and you lay another thing about Hyflex, you lay the ground rules very clearly at the very beginning, the do's and the don'ts, because otherwise your Hyflex will become, I don't know what's the term to describe, it's just a big mess. A big mess. I can imagine, because I haven't tried, but I can imagine it can really be a big mess. And when that happens, well, there'll be no or very little satisfaction, and the students will complain maybe. Not only they are not satisfied, they will be unhappy even. Not satisfied is 1 degree, unhappy is another degree, then you'll get very poor course evaluation at the end of the semester. Okay? So trying something new is a bit risky sometimes, but that's how we progress. Okay? Thank you for, if I don't answer your question satisfactorily, I've tried, yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Karim. I'm
More
sure
questions?
she's happy with your answer. Right? All right. So are there any questions from the floor?
Do we have students here?
Yes.
Because we want to listen also from, we want to hear from students as well.
Yes.
What do you
Please
think of the
state your
Hyflex
name
thing?
first.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Salam.
My name is Abdul Mumini Inda from School of Education, UTMJB. Thank you for the lecture, Prof.
Yeah.
I have a little worry when you make a statement that teachers are in the high risk of losing even their job if they cannot catch up, like the upskilling.
Okay.
Am I right to say Hyflex is more of medium of teaching than the real content knowledge of a subject matter? What advice can the prof give so that our teachers as reservoirs of knowledge are saved that high risk of losing their job, so that the new generation will have a way of, tapping from the wisdom of the teachers while, teaching and learning is still going on without creating a kind of phobia. They are old already, how can they maybe run up to catch up with the fast-changing situations of the 21st century? So I don't know what advice can the prof can give.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I hope I get your questions. First of all, teachers are at risk of become irrelevant. That's not my statement. That's John Landau's statement, which I recorded. And I was also, I disagree with him. I wrote a blog. If you are interested, you can find my blog online. I wrote a long article about that. One of the things that I like to do when I attend anything or learn anything new, I like to write a blog. That's my reflection, which I really encourage all of you to do. Write a blog. Anything, your experience, your learning and so on when you attend a conference like today, this session, why not write one blog? What have you learned from this? Your own reflection, and you put your own input as well. Writing is a very powerful skill. I know I'm digressing here. So I didn't make that statement, and I disagree with him. If you read my blog article, I say, oh no, I disagree because this and that. Yeah. You're saying that just now. On the teacher's side, right? On the lecturer's side, because they are now, they have to explore or try new things that they are not familiar with. And that actually add on more work for them. Some of them, they are not so-called tech savvy, so they don't want to get bogged down or deal with the complexity of the technology and so on, so they get worried, they are very concerned, they get anxiety even. We don't want that to happen. Okay? That's why I mentioned just now, for Hyflex or whatever new model where technology is part of it, it's very important for the academic, for the lecturers, for the teachers, to acquire new skill set. But before that happen, it has to happen here first, the mindset. So we need a mind shift to happen. Shift, change the paradigm. Open ourselves to now change and learn new things. So that's why now also people say, let's learn, unlearn, relearn. So now in this case, we have to learn new things, new skill, because you have almost no choice now. Technology is no longer an option now. Moving forward, if you say, okay, I can do without technology, okay, for 2-3 years, but there will be a point you will know, we will have no choice. It's no longer an option. Therefore, you have to learn new skill set. This is where we need a growth mindset. The mindset that is, I can do. The self-efficacy, kind of, what we call self-efficacy. That we want our students to have this self-efficacy characteristic. We also, as educators, must have this self-efficacy and growth mindset. If you keep saying that I'm not tech-savvy, I'm not going to do this Hyflex because technology is not me, it's not in my blood, not in my DNA. Who has technology when they born technology in their blood? Nobody. Okay, so we have to acquire that. And I'm from a baby boomers like Dr. Hayati. Baby boomers, no, we born in 60s. But
now you're telling everyone my age.
She has retired, so we know her age. Yeah, but the reality is, I open myself to technology. So, when an email was introduced in around 87, 88, I remember that the year when I attended a briefing, when I was doing my master's, a briefing, a big poster announcing a briefing on electronic mail. So I remember that time I was thinking, what is electronic mail? So I attended the briefing, they explained about electronic mail, which now we know is an email. That was in 1988. Then I realized somehow, wow, this is very powerful. Now we can communicate easily. So I put myself, knowing that I'm going to be a lecturer when I come back to USM. I know technology is a game changer, so I learned. So be the trendsetter. I think in USM probably, I was among the first who have the website. So, yeah, so don't be afraid with technology because we have to live with it. We have to live with it. It's in your pocket anyway.
All right, thank you, Prof. Karim. Yeah, I hope Abdul, Prof. Karim has answered your questions. Yeah, all right, wonderful. So we've taken 2 questions from the floor. Now, Prof, I would like to take 2 very interesting questions from our FB Live. Yeah, so maybe if you want to take a seat and then I'll read to you the question. First is from, the first question is from Professor Fong Soon Fook from UMS. Yeah. So first, he shared his view. This is his view. He says, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused largest disruption in our education system, massive loss in learning. We are now in post-pandemic. We need help to recover quickly and aggressively, not gradually. So your introduction of Hyflex is indeed timely. So this is his view. Now his question is, do we have a gazetted competency standard to support Hyflex, or is it in the making? So this is the question from Prof. Fong. Would you want me to repeat?
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, Prof. Fong. Prof. Fong. Our friend. A gazetted, meaning something that is basically official and documented. I think Prof. Fong is talking about the framework, the competency framework, which just now on my slides for the online one, those are what I think is the essential competencies for us to become a competent, at least for the online one. But do not forget that we also should have also the competency framework for how to conduct our classroom face-to-face and so on. I don't think, maybe Dr. Bihar can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we have yet a generic competency framework that is kind of in our kind of become in our document policy that is adopted by all the institution. We don't have yet, I think. But I know many universities are talking about their own competency framework. I know there are many institutions, maybe including UTM. In USM also we have unofficially our own competency framework. And this actually guides us in designing our professional development program or training program. For each set of the competency, these are the training that we have to provide. Obviously, I don't think we have in terms of gazetted one.
So probably it is, in the making.
Hopefully, I think MEPTA, we have the Little Bihar is the pengurusi now kan?
Yes. So
MEPTA lah
MEPTA
yang kena buat.
would have to take this
No,
up.
MEPTA and magnetic kot, both.
Okay, MEPTA and magnetic. And now that involves us.
Okay. No more.
All right, okay, so thank you so much, Prof. Karim, for the response to the question. Now I have one last question from FB Live as well. First, our viewers say thank you, Prof, for the great sharing. And then this person would like to share with you a question from his or her student some time ago. He says, and the question is, in your opinion, is there any strong relationship between learning technologies as a game changer and future job opportunities or career expansion, either in industry, government sector, or the gig economy? So he wants to know if there is a relationship between the learning technologies and future job opportunities.
Wow. Probably that's, I don't think I can give a definite answer for that. If we can do, if we can quickly check the research database, whether such research have been done, looking at whether the whatever learning technologies that we use, including Hyflex, virtual reality, augmented reality, apa-apa lagi all this, kan? And if we incorporate this as part of our curriculum and we deliver it well, effectively, and whether those, by doing that, students would build kind of a range of skill set in terms of knowledge, skill, communication, and all those so-called soft skill from all those learning technologies. Then when they go out, probably it will give them the competitive edge and therefore better chances to get a job. Quite likely that can happen, assuming that we can do it effectively. Let's say we do problem-based learning with augmented reality, whatever, and we do it well, and students acquire all the skill set as we have put in our learning outcome. Then, if that can really happen, then just logically, I would say that when they go out, they will have that extra, that competitive edge. Then probably they will get more chances to get a job. But whether we have a proper research to prove that, I don't know. We have to check. Again, maybe people from education, maybe they are more aware about this. But the possibility is there.
All right, okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prof. Karim. I truly agree with you on that. Yeah. So I think that's all the time that we have. I'm sure there are plenty more questions. I have many questions to ask you as well. But what I'm going to do now to end the session is to try and answer your question, which is Hyflex. Is it just a buzzword? So I'm going to say we do not want that to be an outcome. We do not want this Hyflex to just be a buzzword, right? We do not want that to be an outcome. And your question, is it a real game changer? I suppose if we want it to be the answer to post-pandemic, or we want to make it mainstream, then we will really have to study your thoughts and your views on the critical success factors, and on the challenges, especially when it comes to having self-directed and self-regulated learning, because it all comes back to being human, right? And the importance of instilling values in our students. So I do not know whether I, gave the right answer. But I suppose that is what we have, obtained from your talk just now. So thank you so very much, Prof. Karim, for your insightful sharing on Hyflex teaching and learning. Of course, you leave us with a lot of feeling more intrigued on, knowing what else that we can do, if we want to adapt this as a mainstream or as an answer to our post-pandemic. So once again, thank you, Prof. Karim. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Logais Induran, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, from AHIPS, for making all the keynote and plenary sessions possible. So thank you, Dr. Logais. Yeah. Right, and I would also like to thank the audience here in DSI, as well as those joining us on FB Live. Thank you for your interest, for your passion, and for participation. We believe that you've had a fruitful session, and we look forward to meet you at the closing ceremony, which will begin at 2 p.m. We've learned a lot from Prof. Karim today, and keep us thinking all the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we end this session, let us thank you, Prof. Karim, by singing happy birthday to him, because he'll be celebrating his birthday in 2 days' time, on Saturday, right? Yeah, and he'll be retiring. So let us all, rise and sing happy birthday to Prof. Karim. Let's do it, guys. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a pleasant day ahead, and see you at the closing ceremony. Thank you again, Prof. Karim.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Alias and Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Hayati Abdullah for your very insightful session. I hope everyone enjoyed the session and find it useful and informative. Before we end this plenary session, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Norbiha A. Shukur to come to the stage to deliver token of appreciation to our guest speaker. Please welcome. Now I would like to invite Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Hayati Abdullah to receive token of appreciation.
Thank you, everyone.
Ya, lupa lah check punya padlet tadi. I check siap. Ada ke pemenang Happy Years for Learning Expedite apa? XAERN. Hybrid yet flexible learning experience. How your future learning evolves experience. Wow, I like this. Good. Okay. Hadiah ada yang ini juga. Oh, I think we. Wow. Okay.
The next session will be the most awaited session for all NALI participants, which is the closing ceremony. The closing ceremony will start at 2 p.m. A quick reminder to all participants, please come early to the main hall before the closing ceremony starts. For online participants, you can watch the closing ceremony live from our official NALI 2022 Facebook page.